Samsung possibly leaked the Note 20 Ultra on its own website. OneDrive is possibly getting a new dark mode and a 100GB file upload limit for businesses. And BMW wants to sell you subscriptions to your car's features. These are today's 3 top stories. Let's get started. First thing I want to say is this is being recorded in one long segment. There are not really any company-specific segments to really go into, so there's no point in really doing different segments when it's just 3 completely different stories about 3 completely different businesses. So let's get started with Samsung and the Note 20. Now, this hasn't just really... Okay, so on the company's official Russian, Ukrainian and Chinese Note 8 product pages, there's a photo of a new Note series phone. According to Max Weinbach, who was among the first to spot the goof. The unannounced device is supposedly the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, and it's pictured in a new colour reportedly called Mystic Bronze. Now, much like the S20 Ultra, the Note 20 Ultra will have a periscope telephoto lens. And now this can be seen in the photos. Obviously I cannot show these photos, I am on a recorded podcast. I might see what I can do for the video version, but I doubt I'll be showing anything, to be honest. So if you want it, then go on to Engadget, you should be able to find this story. Now, the company is likely to announce the device in August. However, you normally see these kind of things happening accidentally around a week before their actual launch. See, Samsung has a history of kind of purposefully leaking. I know it sounds weird, why would they purposefully leak a product? Basically, it builds up a little bit of extra hype about a week before they're scheduled to announce it. So it could be a sign that... Now, we're all thinking it'll be announced in August, and I would still say August. However, just the fact that this leak has come too early could suggest it's being revealed relatively soon, but the fact that we haven't really heard anything official suggests it probably won't. But just keep an eye out in case Samsung do suddenly announce something. Now, according to a leak from May, the Note 20 and Note 20 Plus will also feature 6.7-inch and 6.9-inch displays. There will also be a possible processor and RAM upgrade, and they are, as I just said, expected to announce it in August. The one thing I find kind of weird about this is that it's on the Note 8 product pages. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, I don't really know how this is supposed to work, but so they leaked it on the Note 8 product pages, but if this is what it looks like, then I'll tell you what, it looks stunning. It looks absolutely stunning. Now, our second story for today is OneDrive. Oh, also just one thing from the image. It appears it will have 3 lenses, and the S Pen stylus will be coming back. So, you shouldn't have to worry about your S Pen if you're one of the avid users of the S Pen. Personally, I'm hoping they have a lower cost version of this. Recently, I've been in the market I'm in a new market and I'm upgrading in September. So I'm kind of looking for any new phones that are coming out with Android 11 pre-installed. I might have to wait a couple of extra months, but I'm still thinking of going over to Android 11. Now, let's go on to today's second story, which is about OneDrive getting a new dark mode and 100GB file upload limit for businesses, as well as a new Add to OneDrive option on its way. So, the OneDrive upload limit and sharing integration with Teams for Businesses is being upgraded with a dark mode to the web. Now, for those of you who already use the iOS or the Android version, you will know that there has long been a dark mode on those 2 platforms. And it makes more sense. You're more common to find a dark mode on these sorts of devices than you are to find on computers. Although, actually, when I think about it, no, Chrome dark mode, macOS dark mode, and also basically everything has dark mode now, so I don't know why we wouldn't have it, but most web pages can kind of go with their own theme, so it makes more sense for a web page to not have it, but it's definitely good to see them having it. Now, the current upload file size limit is currently 15 gigabytes. is now going to 100 gigabytes for all OneDrive and SharePoint users today. It's a useful addition for business users of OneDrive who have been restricted to 15 gigabyte files, and it could make it hard to sync file types like CAD or video files. If you're a OneDrive for Business user though, you will also be getting better Teams sharing integration. You'll be able to share a file within Teams and be presented with an option to create a shared link that allows files and documents to be shared strictly within a company or to anyone. Microsoft will also soon support address bar file sharing, so you can copy a link from OneDrive in a browser and simply share it. Another thing that OneDrive is addressing is a new Add to OneDrive button. If you're a business user, then you'll be able to preview this new button later this month. It will basically allow you to easily add shared folders directly into your own OneDrive. It includes content shared from OneDrive or shared libraries from either Teams or SharePoint. On the consumer side of OneDrive, however, Microsoft is also introducing family and group sharing later this month. OneDrive users will be able to quickly share files, photos, and videos with an entire group of OneDrive users. Microsoft is also finally, as I already said, bringing a dark mode to OneDrive on the web to match a similar dark mode it already has on iOS and Android apps. It's not clear when OneDrive Web dark mode will be available, but Microsoft has promised it's coming soon. I personally think that dark mode is long overdue, but still nevertheless good to see it. As for that increased file limit, I can't really tell whether that's coming to just business or consumers as well. I'll have to take a look at that when it comes around, although I don't actually have anything I could really upload a 100 gigabyte file to. So I don't know, when it's officially out, I will double check. But it should already be out, so I don't know. I'll do a bit more digging on that, and I'll give you an update if I find anything else. And the first story, okay. So, I actually want to take you back a few weeks here to explain today's story, because it explains a thing that I actually mentioned in an episode a few days, probably about a week ago now. I forget how long I've been doing this for. So it was about Mercedes and them kind of partnering with, I think it was NVIDIA, to bring OTA software and stuff. And it was also a bit about Tesla and how they're kind of rolling out software features. So I said that sooner rather than later we will eventually be seeing subscriptions to car features. And what do you know? BMW have officially said it. So today during a VR press event, complete with a virtual drive-through Munich sells some new features, BMW announced a number of updates to its in-car software experience. Now these new updates will come to the most recent BMWs that support the company's OS 7 later this year, and new cars will already have them built in. Now the company is able to launch these regular updates because it is now able to not just update the car's infotainment system, but virtually every line of code that's deployed to the various compute systems that make up a modern vehicle. Because of this, the company is now also able to bring a couple of features to market that it has long talked about. One of those features are upgrades to BMW program for subscribing to specific hardware features that are already built into your car. So for example, you could now have to pay a subscription for heated seats or advanced driver assistance systems, but you didn't activate when you bought the car. BMW has talked about this for a while, but it's now a reality. So if you didn't buy the heated seats and steering wheel, for example, your new BMW may now offer you a free 3-month trial, and you can then essentially buy a subscription for this feature for a set amount of time. So yeah, your steering wheel is now under a subscription. I don't know if a steering wheel would actually be possible in that, but this is the phrase. Start quote, "We offer maximum flexibility and peace of mind to our customers when it comes to choosing and using their optional equipment in their BMWs, whether this BMW is new or used," end quote. Basically, now they already started some of this stuff 20 years ago, according to them, and since 2014 they are online with their connected drive store. So I don't really know much about that. Now, I don't know. So, active cruise control. Yeah, I am not sure whether. Now, it does give you flexibility. So, Apple CarPlay was originally a subscription feature in new BMWs, costing $80 a year. And while customers weren't very happy about this, they did reverse that decision. So it felt like nickel and diming drivers. But I'm not sure how this is going to go down. And BMW did also announce the support for Apple's new car keys, which BMW has presented the BMW Digital Key. There's also a new BMW personal assistant. Some of the assistant features are cosmetic about how it's showcased on the in-car display, but one nifty assistant feature is a kind of IFTTT for the car, so you can program it to roll down your windows when you enter your company's parking garage, so you can easily scan your badge to open the boom gate. Other updates include BMW Maps, a new GPS system built in, and a parking feature which is based on a lot of work the company is doing in aggregating sensor data from across its fleet. So, I don't know. Again, I can't tell what they're actually going to charge subscriptions for. Now, obviously the whole steering wheel thing is fingers crossed, anyway, very big fingers crossed, not actually going to be a thing. So I'm hoping BMW doesn't go the whole, like, you have to pay a subscription to be able to drive or spending however many grand on your car. I don't think they would go that way. But say you brought the car and you didn't buy it with all of the features. BMW, I think, is actually just building a whole car with every single feature packed in, and they're letting you activate it part by part. So it actually can be cheaper and easier for them to build some hardware into cars even if unactivated, as it does remove complexity from production process. Now, a lot of the features. Now, what's new here is the ability to only subscribe to some features for a short time. So, yeah, I don't know. It does give more flexibility to a used car. So if you buy a used car that hasn't had all of the features activated and everything, it's not like you then are stuck with none of the features activated. As long as the features are built into the car, you can just pop into that subscription. I don't know if they're also going to say, or you can just pay this amount and use it indefinitely. But still, like, the fact that, I don't know, see, I can kind of go either way right now. I kind of love this and completely hate it. I like it because it gives people who buy used cars the option to activate features that the original owner didn't activate, or say to deactivate features that the original owner did activate using subscriptions. However, what I don't like is, and I hate it, I really do hate this argument, because this argument is really so stupid, but slippery slope. I know it's a stupid argument to make about anything. I'm going to come straight out of the bat and say it's a stupid argument. You should never even say the word slippery slope. But in this case, I think it kind of applies. See, that thing about TechCrunch, that is said in this TechCrunch article about a subscription for using a steering wheel. That's where I think, if we're not careful, we could end up. Now, I'm not saying regulation couldn't be made pretty quickly. That just said, when you buy a car, you have access to basic features, such as actually being able to drive the car with a steering wheel, and that cannot be locked by an additional paywall. That has to come in the standard features. They could probably make up a law that does that, or one might already exist. Yeah, they can probably figure out a way to protect your right to that, where when you spend 50 grand on a car, you have the basic right to drive it, even if you don't have all of the other features. That, I think, could probably done fairly easily. But, I don't know. It just seems like we're going, oh, my gas pay subscription to refill my fuel tank, or, goodness, if it's an electric car, am I going to have to pay a subscription to be able to charge my car? Like that, you have to pay a subscription for a privilege of charging your car. I'm not talking at like special chargers that are made by the company. If it's a special charger made by the company that charges faster than anything else and is on completely proprietary technology, or has some form of IP, proprietary technology inside of it, I would be fine to pay that subscription. They're developing that in-house, and I wouldn't mind that too much because that's their technology. But like, am I just gonna have to, for any charger, just gonna have to pay a subscription to be able to do that? I do hate using the word slippery slope, but with this, it is something that can lead to a slippery slope. It's a dangerous feature to go down the road of, and if we're not careful, we could see our steering wheel locked behind a paywall, especially as autonomous cars rise. So yeah, anyway, those are today's 3 sort of stories. Have a think. What do you think? Are you scared about this kind of things being locked behind a paywall in your car? Or do you think it's kind of, as long as they don't really lock me from steering and speed control? Like, imagine if, in order to press the pedals, you have to pay $100 quid a year. Yeah, I have to press $100 quid a year just to move my car forwards. Like, I know, that probably won't happen because it would be ridiculous. But, it is a factor that could happen. Anyway, are you scared of that happening, or do you think it's kind of just all going to be okay and nothing will really actually matter from all of this? Anyway, thank you for listening. I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Again, really sorry I had to backdate that episode, which is officially recognised as coming out yesterday, but was recorded and actually released today. I just backdated it to make it easier for everyone to realise what day it was released on. So yeah, that will be the first, and hopefully that is the first and hopefully the last. I'm not going to promise because my schedule is becoming busier. But anyway, thank you for listening. My name's Luke, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode.